Hi, Dale here. Good morning. It's sunny. It's not very sunny in San Diego today, but that's okay because I kind of like it. Nice and a little cooler. I want to talk about living in a friendly universe, a miraculous universe. What that means and what that shows up for me as, because I do live in that universe. I'm learning how to embrace it because there's a lot of life I've lived, and I'm part of the whole of a lot of life that has created an amazing amount of inertia in living in the hostile universe. So even as you find the truth about living in a friendly universe, there's a lot to go through, a chemicalization kind of process, and to find that truth, because it comes up emotionally, and sometimes as well, for many people mentally, ideas as harsh and false, and need to do something. And this is another reason why I'm really pointing toward like people getting together, because this really helps that. When you're alone, you just have to go through it. It's like what the monks called the dark night of the soul. And you can go through it. I have, and I've gone through it a number of times now in various areas. I'm going through it right now with a letting go of my sense of self, because I'm not a self. I have a name, Dale, but that's not who I am. I mean, and I enjoy this theme park called the existential living, but it is a theme park, and it ends because it's created by the collective of our minds creating it, and it does end. When you check out of here, it ends for you, and hopefully before that, because that's why my teacher said specifically to his disciples, he said, "Be in this world, but not of it." In other words, participate in everything, but don't attach to any of it. Don't take it serious. Step back when you have to step back. Stay true to your principles. In other words, stay true to your heart. Stay true to what you know is true. You know what's true. You do. Even if there's all kinds of people pressuring you to live a lie, like politics, for instance. You know what's true. You know what's true. We know what's true in relationships. We know what's true in everything about the world. It's just the question of will we take care of ourselves, because that's really what living in a friendly universe is about. It's about standing and taking care of yourself, no matter what. Taking care of yourself and finding, and then that's why I'm doing these videos too, is to help you give some insight onto how that happens and what that looks like. All right. With that said, one of the first things that come up for me is I don't do should. I don't do should ever. No matter what should is said, whenever my mind says you should do it, you should do it now. There's all kinds of reasons I don't do it. I mean, if a bus comes to hit me, there's no should message. I just get out of the way. But if I have to start thinking about, just protecting myself against buses, or people, or lawyers, or government, or the world itself, no, not going to do that. It's really clear, and my ego and I are in one with this, because we really understand that I'm about facing circumstance, no matter how it is showing up, because I don't even know what it is, and I know that it's friendly. Krishnamurti, he's an incredibly peaceful soul, maybe one of the most ever on this planet. He was asked what his secret was, and he said, "I don't mind what happens. I don't mind what happens." If you don't mind what happens, that means you have to believe that everything is there for you. It's not a lesson to learn. That's not friendly. To be forced to be pressed down against the ground by the earth, and then have to fight your way up and get yourself up again and say, "Hey, that's a friendly universe. I moved my way through it." No, that's a hostile universe. A friendly universe supports you in everything. So one of the first things that happens for me is I don't do should. Whenever anything says should, I go, no. It kind of reminds me, there's a quote by, a little bit like it, by Glenn Ford, a 1940s actor. Some of you may remember him, good actor. And he said something like, he said, when they try to make me go faster, I always say to them, I only have one other speed, and it's slower. It's slower. And that's me. Mine is actually stop. I stop and wait, no matter what. I mean, right now I'm going through a period of, it's really squirrely, because I've been alone in my life, but since my partner passed on, I'm learning how to detach from the whole concept of needing relationship to be me. I mean, that doesn't mean I can't have relationships and with everything, not just people, but the world, but needing relationship to have my existence, and which therefore, in the past way says to be who I am, which I am not who I thought I was. I am what I am, and I will be whom I will be. All right? Same as you. We are, I am that I am, and I will be whom I will be. And the universe applauds that, says, good job. Good job. That's true. You will be whom you will be. And you will, let it come out of your heart. Move when you're moved to, move when you're moved, and don't move if you're not moved. And don't worry about what it means. Don't worry about any meaning about it. And that's really how it starts. Okay, so I'm finishing this 6-minute one here now, so I'm going to pick it up on another one.